Tom, we spoke a lot about the retailer position today. How is the situation going to impact the airlines, and what are the knock-on effects to how they will run their businesses?
Yeah, so in terms of the way this situation is affecting airlines is the following. Revenues. Obviously, revenues have been significantly affected. For some airlines, there is no revenue at all. For other airlines who have cargo operations, they're still earning a little bit of cash that way, but basically passenger travel has virtually stopped. Now it's resuming slowly, but the capacity that they have on aircraft obviously will not be fully met. So they have a lot of excess capacity. So what they're doing right now is shedding all of that excess capacity by selling aircraft and leasing back, like United did. So United sold 22 of its aircraft to Bank of China Aviation with an agreement to lease them back when they need them. So that gives you the cash right now and gives you the flexibility to expand your capacity when you need that capacity when the demand picks up. Other sources of income for airlines also had dried up. So, obviously, if you look at the income statement for the airlines, you would have number one, ticket sales. So, no tickets. Secondly, would be, if you're a low-cost carrier, it would be like baggage fees. So, no travel, no baggage. Uh, so in-flight services and auxiliary revenue, none of that. But as travel comes back, it'll be interesting to see how that rebalances. And also another interesting area that is going to affect revenue is obviously pricing. And customers also want to know, will it be more expensive to travel, for example? And airlines will probably create additional costs, past additional costs to customers for safety gear and things that they would have to procure for their cabin crew and use it on a one-time basis. Gloves, masks, you know, um, protective uniforms and things like that, cleaning fees and disinfection fees, etc., etc. All of those things aren't going to be for free. Someone's going to have to pay for it. So I expect that some of these surcharges will be passed on to the customer and sort of bolted onto the price of the ticket. So that's revenue. On costs, obviously anything that's a fixed cost, airlines are trying to get rid of. The biggest fixed cost, obviously, being the personnel. So obviously, it's not a good thing to furlough or fire your personnel. You want to keep them until the crisis is solved. However, this crisis already dragged on for a lot of months, and airlines are having a hard time maintaining those costs. So if they hadn't already done that, you would see that airlines who are challenged in resuming operations to a certain degree are going to make those job cuts permanent. Other fixed costs related to aircraft. So aircraft maintenance, for example, and storage, terminal fees and slot fees that they have to pay, fuel being a huge one. So we've already seen examples of huge losses related to fuel. So, like in the case of Air France have been hoarding fuel just like everybody else, and also very actively, participating in the futures market, buying up fuel of the, on future contracts. And so, what happened to them? They basically lost $1 billion worth value because of the hedging losses. Unfortunately, fuel prices have come down. So when you have to pay at a much higher price for the futures contracts that you had before, that basically kills your cash flow. It takes away money right at the time when you need it. So those are serious challenges. So significantly less revenue, potentially higher costs, high level of fixed costs that they're trying to shed, and capex. So capital expenses right now, capital investments right now would either completely dried up, or they're trying to figure out a way how to direct them in a better towards more value adding activities and assets that are going to create value in the future.